Okay, so we covered straight lines, but paths can also be curved. The vector curves created with the pen tool are called Bezier curves. Now I'll show you how to create them. We'll start with this single curve right here. I'm going to go ahead and create my starting point on this end here, but this time I'm going to click and hold. Now as I drag my cursor, you can see I have these two handles I can rotate around my point. The way I position these handles will determine the angle and the shape of my curve. Again, if I hold shift, I'll be able to drag these handles in a perfect vertical or horizontal line. So I'm going to drag this handle up to this guide I created. Again, you can rely on the figures I made up here to figure out where to place your handles. Now essentially you want to create your curves with as little points as possible. This will generally translate in smoother looking curves. Now as you can tell, I have this curved path to work with. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect it to the end of the curve over here. Now my curve doesn't have the right shape, but that's because I still haven't placed the handle on this point. So I'm going to go ahead and drag my handle to the guide, and now I'm left with a nice and even curve. Again, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect, but if you do want to correct your curve, you can just hold Command or Control on PC and select a control point or a handle and move it around until you're satisfied. Alright, now we're ready to move on to a continuous curve. So we'll repeat the same process, but this time we'll just keep going. I'll start at the same point here and go up with my handles. Then I want to place my second point right here in the middle and drag my handle down, and then keep going. We could go on like this forever. Now let's try another kind of curve. This time, instead of going straight up and down with the handles, we'll do a 45-degree angle. I'll drag this one up to the guide holding shift, but this time we're going at an angle. And then I'll go to the second point and do the same, and pull up to this guide. So now we have a curve with 2 control points instead of 3. So this is just another way to create curves depending on the shape you want. You can also make freehand curves without holding down shift if you're going for a more inconsistent type of shape like this, but for now we're just going to focus on creating curves with straight handles.